Yes, people, it is Thursday. We're nearly at the weekend already. I can't believe it's near the Premier League weekend. Just for Man United to beat Newcastle, just for Chelsea to dip into the bottom half of the table, and Arsenal probably to stay top. Yeah, man. And obviously today is Europa nights, Thursday nights, Monts. But yeah, man, we're joined by a very good panel. Big up Monts here with Don's actually here again on a Thursday in his dressing gown. Look, he's freezing. Can't even afford the heating because Todd Bowley won't fund him. And then also we got Rory after a 6-0, and we can actually talk about Arsenal in depth without Monts, Ches, Daps, and everyone trying to cuss them out for winning.
So it's always sucking off Arsenal, guys.
I'm not, bro. I am hosting, G. I am hosting, yeah. We have Arsenal fans that want to watch Never a Foul. So if we're going to come on here and start being Mr. Negative on Arsenal all the time, even as rivals, how is that going to fare out, right? Okay, then. But you want to do it.
I know what you're doing. You know what it is? Because I last season, when I was propping up Arsenal, I realized I was doing this on Big Six Pants, where like I found myself being positive about Arsenal on my channel. So like Casey and Kears would bully me in it when it comes to when my team was like, nah, you know. But like do you know what, Kaz? I know what you're doing, and big up yourself. But you still employ Andre Onana, so it's fine.
But the difference is this time last year, what was you ninth?
Not at this time, but we hit. It got bad. It was like more like February, bro. It was like
exactly, man. Yeah, you just hate it, man. It's calm, man. And obviously Don's another hater as well, man. But yeah, man, how you guys doing, man? We got a few things to talk about today. It's, some breaking news, obviously, this morning. Daps actually alluded it to me, so big up Daps for that one. And obviously, other little bits from yesterday that we can recap on. What you saying, Don, man? Early mornings?
Early mornings, you get me, yeah? Hey, it's cold right now, so I had to bring out the dressing gown, man. But big up the chat, man. Big up the panel, man.
Look what I got, man. I got the fur.
Hey, bro. I need to cut that one. This is a different. This is just a separate hoodie, fam. I need to get the whole thing, man. But I'm looking forward to the show, man. Good panel, solid panel, man. So yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, you did say you like Rory. But yeah, once what you saying, man. Early mornings, up and rising, shining.
Yeah, man. I've saved your name and my contacts to Onana until he
this guy, this flipping guy, this guy, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen. It's never too early to speak on Manchester United. It's never too early to speak on how bad you guys are. So yeah, it was a great day. You know, as I said, Cass, who you got for the draw for the round of 32?
I'm going to the round of 16 in a couple of weeks. That's all right, man.
Oh, sorry, I was just rehearsing. But yeah, big up everyone. Make sure you subscribe, like the video. Big up Rory. You know what I'm saying? Big up Don. You know what I'm saying? And big up the chat, man.
What you saying, Rory, man? Good times to be an Arsenal fan right now.
Yeah, good to be on. Good to be with you lot, you know. Watched the end of the United game in the concourse at the Emirates, and then went out and watched a 6-0 win. So,
you was there, yeah? You was there live?
Yeah, I got on TV actually. Apparently, when just after Havertz goal went in, loads of people were messaging me saying they saw me on the cover.
Bro, Rory went with 21 Savage, bro. Come on, man. Rory's big time now, man. You know what I'm saying? He was in the box and I was 21 and that.
I wish.
Goddamn, man. Oh, God. Anyways, man, we got to talk about Man City, the charges and all that kind of stuff. Not individually, but it has been set. And what we think going to go around it. Because you know what? Every time I talk about this subject, I don't actually get an opinion, I'll be honest. I never do. I just sit there and just let the panel do its thing. But I want to kind of talk about what, if, like, let's just put it in theory, if it happens or it don't happen. If they're not guilty for nothing, then what should they get in return? Like, as in, you know, yada, yada, yada. And if they are guilty, what should it be a thing? But anyways, other than, obviously, we've got Man United to talk about, Ten Hag, Andre Onana, of course, whether it's overreactionary or actually logical months. And then, obviously, Arsenal Football Club. And obviously, you know, how much hate they're getting right now, months. But yeah, man. Rory, I'm going to start off with you. You made a video on your TikTok. Big up your TikTok, man. It's thriving at the moment. All your socials are thriving. You're doing good things. You know, obviously, the point where you can move into certain areas of London now, yeah? All right, say that.
More, Rory.
Come on, Rory. I mean.
Let me a fiver.
Wait.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, yeah, you made a TikTok on this about the Man City. Obviously, they're going to, if people don't know, in 2024, there's a set date for the Premier League and Man City to come together and talk about what's gone on, what's going to happen, etc., etc. And for that to happen, I reckon, anyways, personally, that Man City are probably more than confident for this, because if they would not, they would otherwise they'll just let it string out, right? What are you saying there, Rory, man?
I don't know if they've just run out. Like it had to end at some point, I guess. So they're saying the trial's going to be the end of next season or like autumn 2024, and then it won't be until summer 2025 that they actually get like a judgment, probably. So I just think it's too late. Like no matter what the punishment is, City fans, by that point, they could have won another 2 Champions Leagues and another 2 Premier Leagues. They could have done it all. And the City fans are still going to have those memories. And it doesn't matter as much as you tell them, it wasn't fair, you cheated to it. They're not going to care. So the whole thing's kind of pointless. Like Inter Milan, for example, Champions League final, they're never going to have that moment again. They're never gonna, like, even if they're told, oh, well, the Champions League's technically yours because we've stripped City of their titles. Like, you don't have that memory, you don't have that night, you don't have any of it. So it's kind of pointless. I think they need to find in the future, they need to find a different, faster way of punishing teams if they're found guilty. Like, they might not be found guilty. With this could drag on for another 2 years, and then we get to the end of it, and it's like, they weren't found guilty because they've got the best lawyers and spent the most money on the legal case. So I don't know. It's one of those where I'm just like, another 2 years of talking about it, another 2 years of every other fan base, saying 115 charges, and City fans not really caring because they still get to win the trophies. It's tough.
Realistically, though, how long did you expect for it to take, man? Because when it comes to court cases, especially 115, bro, there's a lot of legalities in that, man. Involved.
No, I agree.
Overnight.
No, fully, I understand why it's taken so long. Like, absolutely understand why it's taken so long. I just think in the future, maybe there has to be a thing where if you've got 115 charges against you, maybe you get suspended pending investigation. If Man City had been suspended from playing football during this investigation, I think it would have been tied up a lot quicker. They wouldn't have been fighting it. They'd have been like, we need to get this done. Whatever the punishment is, get it out of the way so that we can actually play football again. And obviously you would say that might be harsh because they might be found not guilty of all of it and then they were suspended. But it's tough. I don't know what the solution is. And I don't think there ever will be a proper solution, because as long as teams like Man City are backed with the amount of power and money that they've got, like, what can you do? It's tough.
Yeah. I choose. Big up yourself, yeah, but don't let me run up some videos of you saying, "I'll tell you, get him out." Yeah, all right. Hold that one, yeah. Hold that one.
I've still got them.
I'm on. Send it to me if you don't mind. On WhatsApp.
I'd love to see what Troops was saying about Havertz yesterday, because when it comes to the Prem again, when it comes to the bread and butter again, I know he's gonna be pulling his hair out, bro.
I big up Northside, yeah. That's a real guy. People don't know Northside, innit? And a lot of people know him by opinion, right? But even then Northside, when a certain player scores, that has to be your celebration. When we go kick ball, that has to be your celebration when you score now. You know that zip face, so you just look like. You know that one. He has to own that one. But big up Northside, man. I pre the vlog. I send me the link. I'll put in the chat for afterwards if you want, Troops. But yeah, man. Look, the way I look at it, I think I need to sit down, maybe even with Monts or something, and go through a lot of these charges, because a lot of them have got different cases. I think they're ranked, maybe like ranked in different codes and stuff, and you have to go through, like, some of them are like grass, how short it is and stuff, like the nets in the goal. People do not understand this. A lot of them are duplicate as well from seasons. So they're not 115 different charges. And that's just what I do know, right? And obviously, it's a bit of a touchy subject, because even for City, because Rory, you said here, yeah, Man City fans don't care. Trust me when I tell you now, they do care. Like, if you talk to, like, especially, you could say maybe not the Hamzas of the world, but if you go up towards Big Steve, Daps and everything, and whatever, when they're talking about if they have had these charges that and pulled the wool over their eyes and stuff like that, then they demand answers, because obviously they don't want to be they growing up around City, like, as in when they're in the mud, want to come up and that. And if you actually had a conversation, trust me, they do actually care. Like, you can't knock that. But the one thing that they won't say is that even if it is the case, at the end of the day, them 11 players were on the pitch. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't involved in this case potentially anyways. You never know. But they won that. It kind of sounds mad to strip them of everything, but I'm pretty sure they would say, even if it is now, they will happily go down to League 2, like Don would, and still chat shit. Yeah, even if he is sitting in 10th or League 2. Like, and then they'll have the journey to come back up. Do you get what I mean? But I do think City fans do care. The plastic ones obviously will care a lot more, and then you can spot that out. But then, yeah, we're gonna have to go through different case by case. But once, if they are I'm gonna flip it to, if they are found guilty, what do you think is fair if it is on a lot of these charges? Because we've seen Everton get deducted 10 points by one case, right? And that was, what is that going over the limit of how much they could spend, if I'm correct? So if there is to say, what I'm gonna put that first, what should happen in your opinion, and then afterwards I will put across what should happen if they're not guilty, because surely they deserve a lot of compensation.
No compensation. If they are guilty, I want them playing in the Ryman League. I want them to way back up.
Who plays in there? Is it Braintree and them, man? Braintree, Billy Ricky.
I want them. Yeah. So by the time they get back in the Prem, Rodri's going to be like 33. You know what I'm saying? Foden's going to be like in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Ederson's all going to be retired, and that Diaz going to be like 34. That's you know what I'm saying? That's the type of punishment I'm trying to see. Because as Rory said, like, if these men are actually found guilty, there's memories taken away from man that we can't get back. Because I'm not even really one to say take away the medals. I'm not really on that, because the players aren't responsible. Like, it's not the players that have done it, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not on a take away their medals type beat. But because there are memories denied of fans that they might not ever get to see again in their football lifetime, I want to see these man not Championship, not League One, not League Two. I want them playing on Hackney Marshes in Enfield Town. That's why I want them, man, bro. I want Rodri putting up. I want to see stats on that squad, on that. You know, what's the is it squad card? How do you say the name? I want that stats.
Yeah, Squawker. I think it's Squawker.
Yeah. I want Squawker stats on what Rodri's doing in non-league stats. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, sorry, City fans. I know it's hard to take. It's hard to say. By the way, guys, I've sent you that video on Troops.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was smiling.
Bro, please.
I'll run it after. Let's talk about this and we'll run it after.
After this, please run the video. Yeah. I'll just die watching it. You don't know why I'm dying, innit? Troops, stay here. Make sure you're staying here. Stay here.
Troops thinks he can get away with one.
He's done. But I do feel sorry for obviously some of the City fans who obviously have seen their team go from obviously what main road to now and how they're doing. But at the end of the day, if Everton, it took one charge, and it took 8 months for one charge, by the way, 8 months for one. Like, come on, man. We're just going to continually have City on bail, just doing what they're doing. I'm just glad the date's been set, and we'll just have to wait and see. Right now, they're the dominant juggernaut in the Premier League, and we got to focus on beating them on the pitch. And what happens off the pitch, we'll have to see, man. So I'll keep that one quite short for now.
Yeah. By the way, we're 30 minutes in. There's 400 of you in here, and we're on 96 likes, meaning we are 4 likes off of 100. Please run up those likes. Rory knows how much likes are important on any platform or social media. Once knows it, where he runs his own channel as well in Big Six Bands. He always asks for likes. Even Don has come to the point now where he gets taught with this while his channel is under construction. As you can see, he's pointing to the like button right now. So if you haven't done so yet, I appreciate every single one that's done so far and everyone that keeps doing it. But it's just a little reminder. It does get boring reminding every 10 minutes. But if this was to get to, like, let's say 300, 400, like 500 likes, that means you lot have done your job. You know what I mean? It's a free job. It doesn't cost you a penny. So big up everyone that's done so at the moment. All right, let me ask you then, Rory and Don, like, what should happen in your opinion if they are guilty, in short, and then forget about all of that stuff. Let's talk, and then we can talk about what should really happen if they're not guilty.
I mean, if they're guilty, then they need to get relegated. You know what I mean? That's a lot of charges. That is a lot of charges, man. I think that's the only sanction that's going to make sense. Like, if you deduct points, Everton they got 10 points deducted for the FFP situation, right? Overspending. Okay, with Man City, this is 115 that we're talking about. Obviously, we don't know how many they're going to get found guilty of, but they need a serious, harsh punishment, man. Because again, if they've been cooking the books and that to go and buy players like Aguero, all these top players to go win what they've won, again, you can't erase the memories, but you got to give them a harsh punishment. They've got to graft to get their way back into the Prem. Obviously, they will, but it's an inconvenience for their team, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's weekly. He ain't going to be able to speak about the Premier League the way that we can. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously his team's not in there. You know what I'm saying? So they need a serious punishment, man, if that's the case. But if they're innocent, it is what it is. Like, if they don't get found guilty, it doesn't mean that you're innocent, in my opinion. So they shouldn't get any compensation or anything like that. Like, nothing's happened to them as it is. So they shouldn't get like, oh, you know, we're gonna pay you this much because we've accused you of this many accusations. Like nothing should happen. We should just keep it moving. But again, if they did do what's been said, they did, then yeah, they need to get relegated, man. They need to get relegated.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Before I go around and get an echo chamber of it all, yeah. Let me ask you then, Rory. Should the owners be allowed to stay?
I mean, that's tough.
That's the real question. If there is 115, that's a lot, and they know they've been cheating. Then potentially, if that's the case, if that allegedly should that mean Sheikh Mansour is allowed to own the club still? That is the guy that owns the club, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Or should it be forced to be up for sale?
Maybe. I don't think they can do that. Is the issue. I mean, they could ban him from football. But again, I feel like because it's kind of it's backed by the state, they'd just find a new person to be the owner, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I just think relegate them, find them into oblivion, give them a transfer ban for the next 5 years, and see if they can make their way back after that. Just give everyone else 5 or 6 years without them being involved in any of that.
You know what? I wonder how
there needs to be a serious inconvenience on them, Cass, like a serious one, you know, because this is years, bro. Years of,
you know what?
It's cheating.
It's probably better that it's probably best. Obviously, I'd rather ask, obviously, Daps and Stee and all that, if it is the case, what they want with the owners. Like, how would they want to see it? Like, we can obviously set as a rival's perspective, do you get what I'm saying? And say, yeah, you know, we want this. But for them, obviously, we don't have a City fan on the panel today, so it'd be nice to obviously speak about what or someone else would think about what should happen now. Because I do wonder how the City fans would approach the owners if they have done all of this kind of stuff. They must be 50-50. Look, Daps is in the comments right now. He says, I'm unsure at the moment. See, this is what I'm saying. They do care. They do care about stuff like this. But you know what? Let's talk about now, Monts, then, yeah? If they're not guilty and they've been going through 3 years of crap and all of these are just little bits and bobs, they're still going to get branded cheats no matter what. This 115 is going to stick with them forever, even if they are. They're going to say brown envelopes, under the table, FA, da-da-da-da-da. Surely, if Man City do get, obviously go off free, then surely they deserve some sort of compensation, like from getting all these charges put against them. Because you know what it is? It's not even about if they got a lot of money and they still go, you know, top three and everything. Look how much probably stress is going in the club that we don't know about. Things like just on the human element, the stress that must be involved in all of this, and even surrounding a club, you never know how it may affect someone or even people's jobs. This is people's jobs we're talking about as well. I'm pretty sure they'll keep people because they're rich enough and everything. But it must stress them out, thinking if they had to cut back due to, they have to cut back losses, then it's peak.
Yeah, but Cass, bro, like,
bro, there's no smoke without fire. That's the only answer to that. There's no smoke without fire. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but you got to think of it. Brand image, everything. That's, you know what? That's all on the line right now. Everything they're trying to build, even in and around Manchester, with the new the shopping mall, the hotels over in what's it called in East Manchester and everything, that's tarnished all of a sudden.
Let's just break it down. Even away from football, bro. When the man's got a case, yeah, and he busts his case on a technicality or he's got a good lawyer and that doesn't necessarily mean that the guy didn't do the crime. Do you know what I'm saying? That means that yes, he got found innocent in the eyes of the law, but it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. So if Man City get away with what's been accused of them, look how many lawyers they've got, bro. You know what I'm saying? These lot are going to be paying these lawyers God knows how much per hour, yeah, to get the job done. And look at all these loopholes, look at all these terms, look at all these terminologies and that to get their way out of it. So for me, if Man City get found not guilty or whatever, that's it. Just keep it moving. We move. Do you get it? We move. Like there shouldn't be any compensation for that because being found innocent or not guilty doesn't mean that you didn't do what's accused of you. It just means that you could. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he didn't even go to court because his charges got dropped. So that's a little bit different. But what I'm saying is that shouldn't, technicalities, but that shouldn't mean that Man City get compensated because their lawyers have done a great job. Do you know what I mean? So we should just get on with it, say, okay, Man City got away with it, and that's the end of it. But if that does happen, you know the conversation is going to be about brown envelopes. You know it already. I hear
it, but I have to agree with what Pacman's saying. So basically, if we're guilty, you want us killed, and if we're not guilty, then it's just a kick. Do you get what I mean? So either way, what you're trying to, like, even if it's technicality or not, even if it's off a technicality, it doesn't mean they're actually guilty. So technically, the way you say you still reprimanded them, they're still guilty in full. Like there's nothing out of it. They should just say, yeah, you know what, put in a shoulder, let's move on. But for me, look at what Mendy's doing. He's going to get his money, rightfully so, and I know that, and he's been proven innocent by a court of law. Even though some people may say, look, even though it's a bit of a sensitive subject, he is by the court of law, he's still innocent. So I personally think that all the stress and everything, they should. I think it's a defamation of character and everything because I reckon all this stuff is always alluding to around certain people of that own certain clubs. Newcastle, Man City. Come on, man. There's a clear stereotype in this all. And that's why I think it's a bit more techie than people actually think. Now you can say nah, but then that's just like saying, I don't know. How do you put it? You know, if I do say it, then it might get a bit more political in here, but there's no point. So I'm not gonna bother.
But Cass, but this hasn't come from nowhere. Like Monster said, there's no smoke without fire, bro. Like the Prem ain't gonna just make up these charges out of nowhere. So they've obviously done something for them to like trigger an alert in their minds and say, listen, let's look into these, man, because something's not right.
Yeah.
Every year when we look at Man City, how much they bring in and that, something ain't right. Something ain't right about that. That don't look right to me. You know what I mean? During COVID, they made all that money after COVID and that. Come on, brother. Man City. City, you see them the other day, bro. It was like they were playing behind closed doors, bro. Did you get it?
It's a bit as rich as Chelsea spending $1 billion in over just the 18 months, isn't it, Don? Something fishy there with your new sponsor and that, yeah.
It's called loopholes, my brother. It's called
loopholes. Is it now? Oh, is it now?
Because you ain't start changing rules and that because no, because listen, Todd Bowley came in, you get it, yeah. On the pitch, when it comes to football, the guy's clueless. But away from football, the guy found the loophole and he had to get all these rules changed and that. You get what I'm saying? And people kept going on, Todd Bowley doesn't know what he's doing. He came in and found the loophole and it worked. You get what I'm saying? No one's stopping you, man, from doing up 8-year contracts. No one's stopping you, man.
You're next. Yeah, you're next. You're next on the list.
Shit, man. We're probably gonna get points deducted.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, I can't lie. Loophole FC. Yeah, I'm gonna make an overlay. Yeah, when someone's in the bin, there's gonna be the judge. Like, I'm gonna put a little overlay where there's a judge on top of the stand. There's the over here might have the person that's actually that's been pointing the finger at. You know what I mean? Who's committed the offense, and everyone on the side of the jury. Might have to do something like that. So when someone's in a bin, put them in the bin, man. But yeah, you know what? There's a lot of...
How about you? Let me ask you then. What should happen to them then? If they get found guilty, right? Or if they don't get found guilty or whatever, what do you think should happen to them?
Depends on what charge. And even if I say what charge, I need to go check what all the charges are personally and see what allegation it is. Because I think different charges mean different consequences. Like
if it's a grass thing, if
it's money under the table, that's 100% point deduction. If it's anything like going over FFP rules, just because of Everton, for me personally, that's 100% point deduction, right? I don't think they're going to strip any titles away. I can't see it. It's not some Lance Armstrong bullshit. So I'm going to keep going from there. And then I think if it's anything stupid like cutting the grass or not hitting regulations, just a fine. I can't, to be honest, I don't know every single charge, so I'm not even probably qualified enough to even speak on such a subject. Do you get what I mean? In depth.
You know what it is for me though, Cassie? Do you know what it is for me? Yeah, if it's a money under the table situation, like I said, as much as I think they deserve a harsh punishment, I think that every single club should do a deep report into their books and whatnot, because this ain't Man City. This ain't only Man City that's doing this. It's not only Chelsea that are doing this, bro. All of our clubs are doing this. All of our clubs are doing it, right? So that's where I've got to defend Man City a little bit, because when people try to say, "Oh, Man City, they're cheating and this is that," brother, don't think that Liverpool aim giving certain agents a little bit more money here and there. Don't think Arsenal ain't doing a little something behind closed doors as well. We're all doing it. We're all as bad as each other, but it's about who gets caught. That's the main thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, well, my club can't get any worse. So, boy. But yeah, let's move on to actual football as well, rather than all this techie stuff. Where do you want to start? Man United or Arsenal?
No. We got to talk about United.
You want to
start actually, wait, hang on. Let's talk about Arsenal. Actually, I want to leave Man United. You gotta let the main juice marinate. Let the main juice marinate. Yeah, Rory, do your thing, man. Do your thing.
I mean, there's not much to talk about. You know, we've silenced everyone. Everyone at the start of the season that's anti-Arsenal was giving it, "Oh, you can't do the Champions League and the Premier League at the same time. It's different. You won't be able to do both." And we've won the Champions League group with a game to spare, and we're top of the Premier League. So what more do you want? 6 different goal scorers. Kai Havertz has got 2 goals in 2 games. He's cooking. We're cooking. There's not a whole lot to talk about. I think the whole Raya Ramsdale thing's been put to bed. Raya was fantastic last night. We got the joint most clean sheets of any team in the Champions League. Bukayo Saka, is he world class? He's got more goal contributions in the Champions League than any other player this season. What do you want? You know,
I can't lie. I think I'm going to allude to what I said back at the start. I think rivals are salty, and even though I want Arsenal to lose all the time, I can't help but heap the praise because if it was another team, we'd be heaping their praise. But it's because, you know what it is? The consensus is not even Arsenal Football Club, it's Arsenal fans. Yeah, it's always the case, yeah? So let's get one thing straight. But let's talk about Arsenal and not the fans, right? And we can maybe talk about that a little bit afterwards, once. Bro, let me ask you straight. Have we always been talking at the start of the season, Arsenal don't look the same? Don has said it numerous times. He said individually, performance ain't been great from players, but as a collective, they have been collecting results. Now, if you go off the last couple games, maybe few games, right? You could, other than Brentford, obviously the 1-0 and all that kind of stuff, they've finally got their front three together. You said you didn't want to hear that yesterday. Yeah, this is what you said. Want to hear that front three? They got Odegaard, Havertz is all in. Let's call that a front five. Could you not say maybe this is where they're clicking? Because the Lons last time out were 13th or 15th in the league where they lost them, but this time around they're 6th in the league or 5th or some shit, and they battered them. No, you know what? They didn't even batter them. Crucified them. They got first half done, dusted. Kai Havertz, the shadow runs, Martinelli evading, allowing him to run into them sort of spaces, and Jesus pretty much popping up into different areas. This is probably what Arteta maybe saw at the start of the season for Kai Havertz in the role of the 8, and it's still defensively solid. Do you think this is where Arsenal are going to click into gear?
You asking me?
No, months. He's just too busy. Like, you know what I mean?
I thought you were talking in general.
But do you think they're going to click into gear now? Because that's all we've been talking about.
I think in the Champions League, bar the away game at Lens, I think they've been quite cohesive going forward. I think going forward they've looked like the Arsenal of last season. I think it's just in the Premier League where the Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Jesus combination, we've only seen it 3 times to be fair, but it hasn't really clicked yet. Probably needs a bit more time. But going forward, Arsenal have been more. Again, I still think it's a change in tactic. I think it's more Arteta wants to control games rather than be scintillating going forward like last season. But I think it's probably has its ups and downs. I think it's going to help them in the long run. But if we're talking, has it clicked? I wouldn't say so yet, because in the Prem we're still asking questions about their attackers individually, but their goals are quite spread, so it doesn't really need to click. If we go back to what I said about a few days ago, I said if it clicks is when it's really scary hours. But I still think it's good. It's good for what we're seeing from a defensive standpoint, and I think Arsenal should win that game at home. 6-0 is just more convincing than it should be. And at the end of the day, it's not. I don't think we should be saying, Arsenal are doing both. We're top of the league here and top of the league there. Like when Tottenham are top of the league, people are going, "Oh, okay, well, congratulations on your November award." Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's cool to be top of the league. We're only top of the league by a few points, and of course you've got out your group. These are things for me I expected Arsenal to do. Whether Rory had people telling him that his club weren't going to do that, fair enough. Arsenal, with the level that they played at last season, should be getting out of their group and should be in and amongst the top 3 at least in the Premier League. So now the question is, cool. Business end, not even just business end. Going forward, can they maintain it, and then can they get past around the 16? My actual prediction is they get to the semi-finals. So I only think there's about three teams that actually beat Arsenal in it over 2 legs. So that's what I would say.
Well, fair enough then. Before I come around to Rory again, because he gave us the most default answer ever, because he wants to keep it humble and everything like that. Yeah, you know what? There's not much to talk about. He just wants to cut United. I hear it. Don, man, you're one. See, this is what I want to hear what you have to just say in Arsenal in general, because all their attackers scored yesterday, I believe, every single one. Other than the Saka score, I don't know if Saka scored. Saka scored, Odegaard, Havertz, Jesus, Martinelli, and there's probably another one. You talk about Chelsea turning corners, leaves all the time. Yeah, and it's not even a W. We're talking about 3-0 against Luton, turn a leaf. Talk about 2-2 against.
You're lying on my name like this. You're lying on my name like this.
Wait. No. Don't go like you don't guess it up, my guy. You do guess it up. And then obviously Man City, I'll give you every prop from that. I thought that too. You know what I mean? I thought Chelsea. You could say in Arsenal's respective, obviously they're going for the league, etc., etc. Could you say this is their corner from this game that's they've turned, or is it? Do you reckon it's a bit overreactionary?
Nah. I'm not looking at it like no corners have been turned. I've been bigging Arsenal up in. I've been bigging Arsenal up in the Champions League, man, because how you lot have been playing in there, especially at home, Rory. You've impressed me. You've been scoring goals. I'm seeing Martinelli beating man. I'm seeing Saka beating man. I'm seeing him having more of a positive impact on the game as well. So these are the sort of things that I'm asking for you lot to do in the league if you want to go all the way, because defensively, like I've already said, in the league you've improved, but it's your attack and your creativity in midfield. But in the Champions League, bro, I haven't been speaking the way I've been speaking about you lot in the Prem. I've been saying you lot have been playing well. I've been impressed with how you lot have been playing in the Champions League. But again, Champions League, bro, when it comes to going away from home, mentality's got to be different over there, man. And Arteta, he's the main guy that I'm looking at. In the summer, I spoke a lot about Arteta mainly. I said, because you lot have the players now. You lot have the tools. The main guy that I'm looking at this year, if you don't win anything, is Arteta. Obviously, the players need to rise, but he's got more than enough right now. So Arsenal, they've impressed me in the Champions League this season. I'm not going to lie, you know. But again, going forward, it's just that Champions League is all about moments and having that mentality. I don't know if they can go all the way, but I think you're going to have a good tournament, to be fair. But these are two different competitions, man. In the Prem, you lot aren't playing like this. That's where my criticism comes in.
Yeah, but I think that's more to do with the opposition. Like in the Champions League, we're not coming up against teams that sit in deep. Like that Brentford game, they had 2 banks of 5 just sat in the whole time, and so it's more difficult to break it down. And that's why we don't look as fluid or whatever. Like Lons last night played a crazy high line, and that meant that Saka was one-on-one against his fullback all the time and was cooking him. Martinelli was one-on-one against his fullback all the time. We just don't get that in the Premier League. So
and that's my point, Rory. That's my point. In the Premier League, teams are going to set up differently, because what I was saying in the summer is that teams are going to respect you now because you're not that surprise package anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly why I'm saying independent. Like when you look at these guys individually, they need to rise because you're facing low blocks now. So you need to show a little bit more than just cutting back, passing it. You need to actually drive at your man and beat them in order to win the league.
I agree.
The point that I'm making.
I agree. But I do think it's going to take time for these players. Like Saka in his career will never have come up against what he's facing in the Premier League at the moment. Like it's going to take a bit of time for them to learn how to beat that style where there's 2 or 3 men on him every single time. And so far, even whilst they're kind of learning how to deal with that, we've still managed to keep ourselves top of the league. So I think it's decent, and obviously defensively very solid.
Saka.
The question has always been, is it sustainable though, Rory? That's the thing. Like, I picked up you lot getting results, but the question has always been, for me, I don't think playing like that in the league is sustainable enough to win it over Man City. Because the difference with Man City, they've got world-class players that can just turn up. Haaland, you know what I'm saying? KDB coming back. These are world-class players we're talking about. So that's what you're up against, isn't it? But in the Champions League, bro, very, very good performance yesterday. And Havertz, listen, I spoke about him.
Context. Saka's on nearly. Saka is 3 goals away in all comps from being on double digits already.
Yeah,
he's already got 10 assists this season. He's got 7 goals.
Very, very good return. And like I've always said,
he hasn't even played a good performance this season. I don't think not a remotely amazing performance. I can't remember. Maybe Rory can allude me to one, but Saka hasn't even gone.
My guy gets insulted for that. So
yeah, you see, this is the thing. Like away from the GNA, like I've said, Saka does what it does in terms of getting goals and assists. I just want to see more over 90 minutes, right? But like I was saying with Havertz, Rory, yeah, when I spoke about him to your fan base, I said, bro, Champions League, you'll get a different Havertz, right? Because when he's got more time to think and more space to run into, that's when you can get a little something. When things are on top of him and there's not enough space to get out of areas, tight spaces and that's when you're going to see the Havertz that you've been seeing a lot in the league this year. But honestly, in the Champions League, bro, that's when I saw the best of Havertz at Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, he was good again yesterday, man. He was actually imposing himself. Obviously scored that goal. That should, hopefully for you, man, give him a little bit more confidence to bring that into the league. But honestly, I don't see it. But in the Champions League, he does turn up in there. I'll be real with you. He does turn up in there when he feels like it.
I think Havertz is growing.
I think he's growing as well a little bit. I can't lie, a little bit. I think he's understanding the role that little bit more, maybe.
I just think he's more suited to European football. I mean,
it could be that. No, you know what it wants. Respectively, it could be that as well. You know, you're away from Premier League. It's less intense, and as what Don said, Don didn't say anything bad. It was more constructive, if anything.
I'll tell you what, though, if Kai Havertz is only good in the Champions League and eventually helps us win a Champions League, that's 65 million well spent.
That sounds awfully familiar. Wow.
Oh,
that sounds awfully familiar.
What? Fernando Torres, 50 million, that one?
No, it sounds familiar. If the boot fits, man. The boot fits. Do you know what? I just let's just not be too premature about it, because I said last week everyone was saying, oh man, Kai Havertz had to dig Arsenal out of a hole the other day because they couldn't look creative against a low block, and then they win 6-0 the next game. Our everything's clicked. We're back. Like
I never subscribed to the fact that we're struggling against low blocks. I think it was inevitable in games like that Brentford one. It's inevitable you're going to score eventually. Like when you have that much control of the game, yeah, it might take until the 89th minute, but in most games that happens, the goal is going to come eventually. And once you go 1-0 up in the game, then you're home and hose. So, we had the chance, even in that Brentford game, Trossard's offside by half a centimetre or whatever that is. Like, we would have gone 1-0 up then it would have been a second half would have been a cruise and people would have talked about the game differently. So, I don't mind those games. I don't.
Well, you can't do that, Rory, because Mbuemo also missed basically an open goal. Yeah, you know what I mean? We could have been talking about it differently.
Two clearances.
Yeah. We can do that game. Don't worry. But other than that, look, I you know what? Last question on the Arsenal part. How far can they go in the Champions League? Because we were talking about Monster's channel yesterday. So if you want to go watch Monster's channel yesterday, so you go run it. You find a segment for your timestamp. Yeah, we was talking about teams that they can face at the moment in round of 16 and teams that they're gonna potentially struggle against. And there's only out of all of them, we only came up with 2, maybe 3 solid names that would probably beat Arsenal, at this moment of time, right? And then other teams, we were talking about we're going up and down. Like I said, we couldn't really make up our minds and probably say that they're going to give them a game. I can't really see them going past this team potentially. And if we're gonna put that all in total, that technically comes up with a semi-final. The way we were talking. What are you saying that, Rory? Do you reckon Arsenal go really far this year in Champions League, or do you think it's overstated?
I think for me, City, Real Madrid, and Bayern are the only teams that I look at, and I think over 2 legs they could beat us. Like they could. That's fair. So if you can avoid, we're not going to face either of those 3 in the round of 16, so we should get through. The round of 16, so we should get through that. And then it's about if you avoid drawing one of those 3 in the quarterfinals, then we should make the semis. So they're the three teams that I'm worried about. There are other teams, don't get me wrong, that could cause us problems. It's a cup competition.
PSG maybe.
No,
no
PSG
chance.
doesn't bother me. PSG doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
I'm talking like even though they've been poor, I look at that Inter. As a team that can do damage.
Atletico Madrid,
especially those teams that can sit in deep. We look at what we've struggled with in the Premier League. You look at those teams, if they can do that in the Champions League, that's an issue. Like PSG doesn't worry me. But yeah, we'll see. I think now, round of 16, there's no one in that we should struggle with, I don't think, unless Inter are there. So yeah, semi-finals should be on.
Fair enough. All right, guys, there is 650 of you in here. We're about to get onto this Man United slaughter fest. So if you are here tuning in, make sure you smash the like button. I asked about 20 odd minutes ago or so. But if you don't mind, I'm going to run up just a little reminder. If you don't mind smashing the like button, you know where it is. The little fun button. If you exit your live chats, if you're on your phones, you can see where it is. So big up everyone that's smashed the like at the moment. And also check out Big Six Bands, who will be live in the probably next 15 minutes. As well, man, it will be going over there after that. We're going to be talking a bag of shit. Or probably on my club again. Yeah. Yes. Of course not. Anyways, this guy has changed my name, right, to Onana. Yeah, on his phone.
What's wrong with that?
And he said my name on his phone to Andre Onana, yeah?
No, just Onana. Just Onana.
Okay. Oh no. But anyways, look, I haven't got your opinion on yesterday at all. Obviously, there was the group chat. Andre Onana, man, he's looking like Taibbi, bro. Frozone. That's what I call him now, bro. Yeah. I said yesterday the guy's he's got his positioning is worse than a pervert in a woman's showers. Yeah, that's what I said.
I heard that.
I can't lie. Poppadom hands, bro. Flabianski. I don't know what to say for it because. You know what hurts more is the fact that I went on Monster Channel a few days before and was back in his case.
Yeah,
and then this happens.
Yeah. Can I just before I even go into Onana? Yeah, can I just read a few stats, people, please? Yeah. Okay. So Galatasaray 58% possession, United 42% possession. Galatasaray 16 shots, Man United 17 shots. Shots on target for Galatasaray 8, Man United 4. Yeah. Now, when you talk about big chances missed, yeah, Galatasaray missed 3. Man United missed 1. Yeah. Goals inside the box. Shots inside the box. Galatasaray 10. Man United 10. This just goes back to the point that I've made about Man United all season. Yeah. These lot are grinding out results against teams, but they are very, very, very easy to play against, bruv. All you need is a basic shape, right? And your finishing boots, and you will beat Man United. Up against Everton, they beat them 3-0 the other day. Do you know how many shots Everton had in the box, Cass? Have you checked?
I don't
10.
care.
They had 10
care.
shots.
How many blocks? How many blocks?
They had 10 shots in the box.
How many blocks?
Yeah?
How many blocks?
What do you mean, how many blocks?
You
guys were defensively sound.
Defending is part of the game, though. So how many blocks were there?
No. It's not about bro. There weren't blocks. These were shots on goal.
I can't lie. Yeah, if you watched the game yesterday, this is why I don't
No. You asked me for my take. So let me finish what I'm saying. Yeah, you sit there and listen. Yeah. So what I'm telling you about Man United. Yeah.
Oh my days, raw man, talk to me like I'm a primary student. Yeah. Wow.
You go, Don. You go. Tell him again. You speak when spoken to.
You sit there and listen, yeah? You sit there and listen because I'm tired. I can't believe it. It makes me sick every day. I wake up, I just look, United are 8 points ahead of my club.
You better beat us, you know that. You better beat us.
Oh, we must. You guys are so easy to play through, bro. And it doesn't matter what midfielders you play. Your defense right now, Varane's not in that 11. It doesn't look like he's going to be in that 11 anytime soon. You brought in Mainu. He done a little bit of satin, but he was still being cut through. It doesn't matter what personnel you guys play. Amrabat, Mainu, Casemiro, everything is a mess. It is so easy to play against Man United. Yeah, and I'm not surprised that Galatasaray came back. Bro, he was two goals up. 2 goals up. You can blame Onana. Cool. Onana was very, very poor yesterday. But defensively, bro, Galatasaray were just all over you, man. I know you lot had chances as well. But again, we're going back to the quality in front of goal. When you play teams that can finish their chances, you will continue to drop points. You will continue to lose games, right? And it's disgusting, bro. You've won one game in a group with Copenhagen and Galatasaray, right? And then you got Bayern Munich next, yeah? Old Trafford ain't Old Trafford like it was last year. So don't think that, Old Trafford's going to back you, man, against these lot. Harry Kane in front of goal, give him those chances in the box. You see what I'm going, yeah? You're going to see what I'm going. Do you know what I'm saying? He's going to turn up. He's going to. Why would he not start? Because
they got nothing to play for. The Tuchel will rotate. He will rotate.
I've
seen it all before. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Even if he does, I don't actually care too much because I'd rather finish bottom bin.
That's the one.
Okay.
I'd rather finish bottom bin. I don't want Europa League. I don't want Europa League personally.
You go in Europa League, you finish third, didn't it?
Yeah.
Third, yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
So about this, Europa League, you lot should be privileged to play in the Europa League. A, it's the last trophy you even won in Europe. B,
exactly.
If you win Europa League, that's your only way to champs. Because Lord knows you are not finishing top 4. You are not finishing top 4.
Probably top 5, but yeah, probably top 5. But yeah, top 5.
Probably top 5. Probably top 5. Are you not listening to what I'm showing you, Cass? How easy you are to play?
I hear it. All right, you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to allude this to Chelsea. This is just your opinion on Man United. It doesn't mean you're a Chelsea fan. Doesn't mean you have to go on it because I'll rip into you about Chelsea all day long. But other than that, yeah, I'm looking at it like this. For all the shots that they did have, I watched the game. I don't really recall any massive chances that Onana really had to save or anything like that. So
the corner from the near post, the offside goal, which actually, for me, in my opinion, was actually onside.
Well, even though he got
very close.
You're saying.
It's offside.
Let me land. The chances. You're saying they didn't have too many clear-cut chances, but the goals were the clear-cut chances, bro.
Wait. That's everything you need to say to yourself. Yeah, if you want to take off your rival perspective and literally hear yourself, all 3 of those goals were down to the goalkeeper mistakes, not Man United's defense being all over the gaff, not being cut through or anything, because we dealt with that got cut through. Zaha against Wan-Bissaka got dealt with. All you had to do is invert. Zaha didn't want to play wing play. They allowed their fullbacks to bomb on, and that was fine. The 3rd goal, give or take, bro. Why would you sort off your line anyways in the first place? That's the way I look at it. If you stayed near your goal and position yourself, that goal's easy food, bro. You think Edison or Alisson or anyone, even Robert Sanchez conceding that? No, they're not conceding that goal. That's what I'm saying. Them both of their free kicks, Ziyech didn't even celebrate because he couldn't believe both of them. He just knew, just put it on the keeper. That's it.
The thing is, if you look, so United have the 4th lowest or the 4th highest XG conceded across the whole Champions League. So of all 32 teams, they've got the 4th most XG conceded.
And we've been hard done by a couple of those games, by the way. If we're being real.
But that 4th highest XG conceded, like, that doesn't take into account Onana's mistakes. So this is chances that you've conceded with the XG that they have. Only 3 teams have been worse than Man United in the whole Champions League You look at some of those 32 teams and the groups that they're in, and you've played Copenhagen twice and Galatasaray. You've only played Bayern once. Like,
this is why actually is poor, yeah. Because one, as I said, it can be debatable because penalties. We've been given a penalty against us in every game, bar that one, yeah. And you could say 3 out of 4 of those penalties were absolutely not. Actually, probably all of them. Everyone's screened. We've had 2 red cards, if not 3, if I'm correct as well. So if you want to put that into it, we've had 10 men for a lot of the game in some of them, or if not 20 minutes of a game. So if you want to do XG stats, this is why I don't bother with stats. Because is that XG up until the red card, or is that XG throughout the whole 90 minutes? Is that up until the penalty's been given? This is why I say stats are irrelevant in this situation.
Let's use the eye test then. Why is it that you are playing Copenhagen and Galatasaray and you're treating them like you're playing Real Madrid? That because that's where it is. Let's not, bro. You've conceded 4 goals against Copenhagen. You've conceded 5 goals home and away to Galatasaray. I think it's 6. It's 6.
Yeah,
it's 6.
Yeah.
But Copenhagen and Galatasaray should not be. Listen, you might slip up and draw against maybe when you play them over 4 games. You might slip up and draw 1 game. You might have an off day. But to have an off day in 4 of those games, it took a last-minute penalty save from Onana for you to have not dropped points in every single one of those games. Both those teams are still creating chances against you way too easily. I don't think the defense was awfully poor yesterday, but bro, it's not good enough. And it shows the level. This is the Champions League. You can talk about how not too many chances. They didn't keep cutting us open. But in the Champions League, a team does not have to consistently cut you open to score goals.
But they were cutting them open though. They were cutting them open though, once. They were.
No. It wasn't like, bro. It wasn't a hot knife through butter. We've seen worse Man United defensive performances. I wouldn't say Man United were mad.
You know what? You know why you're saying that, bro? Because Man United were attacking them as well. That's why you're saying that.
But that's my point. The fact that United are playing Galatasaray and it's a basketball game.
That's the thing for me, right?
No control.
Wait, why do you say that about Bayern Munich then? Because if you watch the Bayern Munich Galatasaray game when they're in Galatasaray, that was exactly what it was. It was also a basketball game. So why are you not saying about them then?
Because it's happening.
Wait.
Happening way too frequently with you, man.
One sec. Go Copenhagen even if you want to do like that and go watch Galatasaray. In Galatasaray, that's what happens, bro. In the Ram stand, welcome to hell, which is bollocks. Which is, by the way, is bollocks anyways. That atmosphere bullshit is all bollocks, yeah? Because I couldn't wait for their whistles. I thought we started playing better when they started whistling all that shit. Anyways, even Copenhagen, when they'll tune you up. Bro, it was back and forth all game. Who cares?
But the thing for me, right?
When you lose and draw, it's not who cares. Listen, if it's like a basketball style game and you're winning all of them, cool. We're just gonna call you good and entertaining. But if it's a basketball game and you're losing and drawing, no, you just don't know how to manage a game in your shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's when you were 2-0 up, right, and the first goal that you concede, I can't remember who the player that Bruno Fernandes fouled was, but how is he running at your back 4? And Bruno Fernandes is the one that's getting back and fouling him. Like that
was down to Scott McTominay, because I remember him absolutely screaming at Scott McTominay. He's the one that should be running back. Bruno done the legwork for him instead. And to be fair, Bruno didn't need to foul him either. He was going nowhere. He was going to come up against whoever it was. I remember Amrabat was screening. Was it Cardi and the other dude that was playing next to him, behind him, covering that run. And it was pretty much down to Luke Shaw in the end, if he wanted to really cover that space. Luke Shaw was even screaming at Bruno as well, like, why'd you do that? There was no need to do that. So that's why I said, Bruno, look, I don't know. He didn't need to foul. The thing is, funny enough, Bruno done both of those fouls, and both of those fouls could have been ignored, in my opinion. I look, the last question I'm going to allude to is do you reckon after that game then, is Man United in trouble? Because I don't look at that game and think Man United's in trouble, maybe down to the goalkeeping situation. But I think as overall Canuck, because you know what it is? I'm comparing it to situations of what I've seen this season so far, compared to now, innit, yeah? In terms of, if you want to call it style, game management, all of that, the personnel and stuff, I look at that as a positive for me, because I've seen a lot worse during the season than there. Because I look at the performance of how the team actually played. Other than, I don't get this long ball stuff, which is kind of annoying as well. I don't look at it as a trouble thing. The only thing I can really point to, I said it yesterday to Mont Staps and everything. I can't point my finger to the scapegoats, the typical ones, Maguire, Lindelof, maybe Delo at times, Scott McTominay, Bruno, or whatever. Rashford wasn't even playing. I have to point my finger at only one person recently. Out of the last 6, 7, 8 games, it's probably down to you could say the goalkeeper more time and obviously other collective performances other than Man City when we played them. I have to point it, that one is literally down to the keeper. Because if we're 2-0 up and Onana saves that, we could have went 3-4 in that first half, by the way, if we was a little bit more clinical. Obviously, when you can see the goal, it psychologically takes an effect on you. So if you ever play football, if you know, you know. That's why I say I don't look at it like that. I look at it as a thing where it's down to Onana, bro. He killed our Champions League campaign. Not majorly many Man United players. It's down to him. Bayern Munich, if it wasn't for Onana, bro, we would have beat them, you know, at the end of the day, or got a draw at worst, in my opinion.
Onana takes blame, yeah?
Let me go for it. Even Copenhagen, if you look at the Galatasaray game, other than the penalty save, which I'll credit him for, I would say the Galatasaray game was down to player individual mistakes. I think that's why I can blame him. But even Copenhagen, I'll put that down to Onana again. Like, what are you doing in some of these? He legit kept giving away the ball, not just that. And second of all, obviously questionable saves that hurt our campaign. Really and truly, I think Man United should have this game into Bayern should be going into who should be first place, because that's how much the keepers killed us this year. Right now,
Cass, let me just tell you. Let me just use the perfect example. Yeah, look, if you look at the game against Arsenal when we played them, yeah, and Sanchez gave away that stupid goal when Declan Rice scored, yeah, 75 minutes before that, these lot didn't even have a shot on target. We controlled that game, right? Onana, yeah, he made mistakes yesterday, but you weren't in control of the game. You weren't. Like, we've spoken about United all season, yeah. You lot have moments in your games. No one says that United don't do anything, because you've actually created more chances than Arsenal this year in the league, right? Obviously, they might not be the clear-cut chances Højlund needs to score, but you're still creating chances right now. So no one's saying that United are completely robbed. They can't do anything.
No, I hear that.
You do have moments. And let me pick out a few players. Luke Shaw, I thought he played quite well, to be fair. Like, in build-up, he was really tidy on the ball, popping it in, you know, creating those little triangles on that left-hand side. But when I'm looking at your how you play overall, you're very easy. You're very easy to play against. And that's why I'm saying, when you play, look at the top six, bro. Every team that you've played in the top six this year, you've lost. You know what I'm saying? You've been beaten by everyone, right? The teams that you've got all these points against are the teams that your Lutons, your Sheffield Uniteds, and that was a banger from Dalot. These are things that aren't sustainable, and this is why I'm looking at it like nothing has changed from you, United. You might have been Everton the other day.
I'm gonna put it down.
Hold on, Cass. Let me land you.
Oh, sorry. I thought you was.
No. You might have been Everton the other day, but I watched that game, and Everton, if they had their shooting boots, like I've spoken about them all season, they win that game, bro, or they get something out of that game. Do you know what I mean? You lot have been catching so much luck. I know football's about luck and that, yeah, but this is just too much. I don't know what type of juju you lot have done, or I don't know what type of witch doctor you lot have visited, yeah. But I need an invitation for that one, because my team can't buy no luck right now. Do you know what I'm saying? You lot are getting a lot of luck right now. Yeah, I don't know. In trouble. You are in trouble. Your team is in trouble, bro.
The thing is, you say a lot of ifs. The thing is, Don, when you provide arguments, you always say a lot of ifs, in my opinion. And if we had this, if we had that, if this person could score, bro. The reality is, when it comes to strikers in the Premier League, anyways, a lot of them can't finish regardless. This is the same conversation we have every year. That's like, but that's like saying if Man United had their shooting boots against a certain team.
It's not about this, though, Cass. It's not about this.
Wait. That's like me saying Crystal Palace as well. Like, if we had our shooting boots on, if the VR done their job. By the way, Moncho, on mute. If they done this, no, it is the point, because that's what we can say. If you can provide, I'm just saying, if we can, yeah, I know, but I'm talking about Don's argument with the if. Because I could say the same thing with Man United. If we had our shooting boots on at the start of the season, if we done this, if we done that, it's not as valid as it seems, because you have to point the finger at both sides. I hear Man United is kind of easy to play against, but at the same time, if we score that goal, like, there you go. If when we went forward and he missed that chance, like if Pelestri decided to actually bury it, if Marcel decided to release it a little bit earlier, we would have won the game. Do you know what I mean?
But that's why I'm telling you, Cass, when you've played better teams that are better in front of goal, you have lost. That is my point. That's the point that I'm making.
I hear it, but I think, again, look, I think we got two of our fullbacks back, at least. I don't think we're going to see much change in football until we see Lissandro come back and let Kobe obviously build up his match fitness of
How many more, man? How many more, man? First it was, we need Kobe back. Now we need Martinez back. Now we need Shaw back. Come on, how many more man you need back?
So rich coming from you, especially you, Don. Especially you, yeah. Nobody else on this panel.
Why is
because
that?
You've been talking about when Nkunku comes back, when Lavia comes back, when this person.
No. I said it's gonna. No, hold on. I've said it's gonna strengthen. Hold on, Cass. I've said it's gonna strengthen us, but I haven't used that. I haven't used that as. No, hold on, Cass. No. Let me land my point. Because you're twisting my words. I've said I can't wait to see Lavia and Nkunku to come back because it's going to strengthen us overall. But I've said we should still be winning these games without them. You're moving like, you're going to drastically improve and whatnot, yeah? And we're going to see a big difference with you lot when you get Martinez coming back. But you've got more than enough. No. Bro, you've got more than enough.
That's not my argument, though. That's not my argument.
No, but Cass, my point is we have no. But Cass, you can't make that point to me about Nkunku and Lavia because I still think we have enough to be winning games. You're moving like you're trying to say that you haven't got enough to be winning games because you need Martinez. That's what you're saying.
No, I didn't say that.
So what are you saying then?
I said the way we play. I didn't say we haven't got enough to go win these games. Of course we got enough to win these games, G. I'm not putting it down to that. I'm not doing what you do. Bruv, I'm saying if we have Martinez, then we're going to, when we get Martinez back, of course it's going to change. It's like when Rob Holding came in for Saliba. It changes your whole play, bro. That's the way it works. It's like you wish you could sometimes.
You're so open because Martinez ain't there. That gnome.
No,
because that gnome ain't there.
Right, we brought in,
that's why you're so open.
Actually, one thing we do know, Martinez is a much better player than Lindelof in all sorts, and Maguire, yeah? That's one thing we can definitely say, right? So I'm going to say like this. We brought in Onana to be playing with his feet, yeah? Especially with his feet. That's his special part about, yeah? So we're not going to play out from the back because he can't trust Lindelof or Maguire to receive the ball in good areas so we can play out from the back and pop it around, yeah? Because Martinez does break lines with his passing, right? He's much better defending. His positioning and his just body overall positioning is much better than what Lindelof does. Because I don't know what he does, but Lindelof loves to have this straight line 90-degree angle, and same with Maguire because they're just not that good. But they're doing a job at the moment. So that's why I say when it comes to personnel, it makes a big... the way you play is always down to personnel.
So why is your midfield being cut through so easily then? Because Lindelof ain't playing in midfield.
I think it's forming a little bit, yeah. And you can tell he's looking towards Kobe Mino, innit? I've been saying it. He wanted him in pre-season and you can see it now. Even just a little composure bits that you see against whether it's Galatasaray, Everton, he doesn't give a shit. This 18-year-old is flicking it over prime players, bro, in their midfield, and Ndombele and then Belly and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, he's doing bits. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's gonna have to take some time to form. But in terms of what I don't like is the way we give away possession more time by doing the long ball. Sometimes it works and a lot of time it don't. And that's the way, for me, that's why I say until Man United get Martinez, we won't play a higher line. That's why it is. You know what it is? The defense, for me, it's the gap between the defense and the midfield is what's the most concerning for me because we play a deeper line than we should be. And that is down to personnel, G. I don't think I'm wrong about that either. If you go look at where
you're going to play, you think you're going to play a higher line with Martinez there? Yeah? You think Harry Maguire and Martinez are going to be the next?
I believe Ran might come back into the fold if Martinez comes back in the fold because Ten Hag's also talked about partnerships in centre back and what works. Right? I'm
hearing that you're listening to offers for Varane in January, mate.
No, I hear that. I hear that, but he ain't falling out with my man. Obviously, my man's remained professional. You go see pictures and all that, make up your videos and make up your own mind in training. He's still there. And he will still act professional. When he's called upon, he'll be called upon. But it's all about partnerships. And right now, he's just doing the Maguire Lindelof thing because, if you put Varane, it's a bit more chaotic. And obviously, Lindelof gives a little bit of something where you can drive with the ball. I understand it, yeah. But I think personnel make a whole difference in the way you play. Martinez ain't the fastest, but you can play a high line technically because he's better positioning and better pressing and winning the ball back. But there's risk. But the whole point of tennis football has always been risk.
Cass, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, Martinez will definitely help you lot play a higher line, building up from the back. There's a little bit more confidence there. Yeah, but end of the day, look at Eddie Howe. Yeah, when his C team played you lot, they were well drilled. They all knew what they were doing. Everyone understood their role. Defensively, they were switched on. Even against us, yeah, they had no one on the bench, and they still knew what they were doing. The point that I'm making is that you keep talking about Martinez, this is that. That doesn't take away from the fact that right now you've got more than enough to have a stable team that know what they're doing, right? What it is right now is you lot defensively are just an absolute shit show from back to front. I don't think Martinez, and honestly, my opinion, I don't think Martinez will change that much, in my opinion.
I think so. I think the spine of your team is very, very important, and I think Martinez is a part of that spine. And I don't think Maguire, as much as Maguire's playing well in that, and Lindelof, they have no spine. So that's the way I'm looking at it personally.
Maguire's been your best defender, mate. Past few games.
We lost our whole spine from last year, G. That's the reality of it. The whole spine is gone, bar Bruno maybe. Yeah, they're all gone. And then you got a striker now. So your defensive spine is gone. There's nothing more than that. Anyways, look, the way I look at it is these players are overrated. And the beauty thing with Eddie Howe, he's drilled. But the thing is, Man United are still trying to find their way of personnel of expansive football, etc., etc. So here it is, man. We'll see, anyways. But yeah, people, big up to all of you that have joined in. Bring back David there. Everyone that's joining, make sure you like the video on the way out. But before you do go, make sure obviously to check out Don Greasy Don on Twitter if you want to see more of his weird takes. Big up Rory. Rory talks football all over social media. Rory talks football, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok. And obviously there's Monts, which I'm going to go over to Big Six Pants right now. If you stay on here, even if you don't want to go watch Big Six Pants because you've got something else to do, if you just go on there quickly, smash a like for him because likes do help, obviously. And just do Monts that favor. It would be much appreciated. Just me asking you guys all in here. There is 669 of you here right now. That means 669 of you potentially could also go over there. So if you don't mind, man, just do that for us and I'll be much appreciated. But other than that, we're going to be back. Is it Thursday today? Yeah, we won't be back till tomorrow where we start talking on the fixtures, etc. And then, yeah, probably do a couple little shameless panels on a Friday night. And then, yeah, move on from that. I might do a reaction video to all the funny Man United reactions that I saw yesterday. So, yeah, later on. But, yeah, in a bit, peace and we're out.
Love.